Composting is one of the best ways to feed your soil. But throw in the wrong things and you can ruin the whole batch. Let's talk about 7 things that you should never throw in your compost. We like to keep it simple here out on our tiny homestead. Compost turns waste into life. But not everything belongs in that pile. And I learned that the hard way. Here's what to avoid and what to do instead. Number 1, meat and dairy. Why? Well, because the meat and the dairy can attract your pests. It will smell bad and just go rancid and won't be any good for your home compost. What you can do is you can give it to your chickens, since chickens are omnivores and will also eat meat. That way it doesn't go to waste. If you don't have chickens to give them to and you still want to try and compost it, go bury it deep somewhere else that's not with your compost. Generally, you don't want to put meat into your regular old home compost. It creates unpleasant odors that us or even our neighbors ain't gonna want to be smelling. It can also contain harmful bacteria like your salmonella or E. coli. Then that's just gonna go and contaminate the rest of your pile, which we don't want. I will say, it is possible to compost meat, just not in the kind of compost we're doing. If you do want to compost meat, or you want to get to that point, here's how you can compost meat safely and effectively. It needs to go in a specialized high, hot compost, not a regular compost like we have here. It needs to be a really hot compost pile. But for most home gardeners like myself and most of you out there, the home compost is generally what we're gonna be doing. So I would advise, especially if you're new to this, just avoid meat and dairy altogether. It's not worth the hassle. It's not worth the trouble. Once you get more experience and you can scale up your compost more and more, then you can go ahead and start learning how to compost the meat safely and effectively. Number 2, greasy and oily foods. All it'll do is coat the materials, block the airflow. And remember, in composting, we want ultimate airflow in here. And it's just a very slow breakdown that isn't worth our time. Very minimal of those scraps can be safe for the chickens. Just make sure there's not too much grease and oil on there. Otherwise, you can give it to the dogs. Dogs will eat anything. Number 3, pet waste. Like the oily food, it contains harmful bacteria like the salmonella, E. coli, and even roundworms that surprisingly can survive hot compost. It can also infect the humans and other animals that we have around our homestead. Generally, home compost piles like this won't reach high enough temperatures or a long enough duration that is needed to fully kill these organisms. Number 4, diseased plants. Diseases can survive and spread back to your garden. They can also contain pathogens that can survive the whole process, especially in a home compost pile that might not get hot enough to kill everything. To avoid this, it's better to just pick your diseased plants out of your garden bed and throw it away in the trash. That way, nothing from the diseased plant can get back into our compost or back into our garden bed or on any of the crops that we're trying to grow. Number 5, weeds with seeds or runners. Why? Because in a standard home gardening compost system, the weeds can survive the process and then spread to our healthy plants. A lot of home composting systems, it just doesn't get hot enough to kill the weed seed or prevent aggressive roots from spreading. To avoid this, you still can compost weeds. Again, if you're a beginner, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you're a little advanced and know what you're doing, you can take those weeds, dry them out in the sun for a few hours before adding them to your compost, or if you have a separate real hot compost system going, you can go ahead and throw them in there, provided that that compost system does get hot enough to kill all the seeds and roots. Number 6, glossy or colored paper. Now, you would think that this is probably common sense. The only type of paper you should put in your compost is regular brown paper. That's it. But why should we not throw glossy or colored paper into our compost? Let me tell you, a lot of that type of paper contains a lot of heavy coatings, a lot of ink, a lot of heavy materials from the dyes, and that stuff it won't break down properly in a compost. And all it's gonna do is contaminate your compost, contaminate your garden if you use that compost, and that's just something we don't want. We don't wanna harm our animals, and we don't wanna harm our crop that we're trying to grow to feed us and the family. It can also interfere with the process of composting itself by slowing it down or just making the finished product unusable. And lastly, number 7, too much citrus or onion. Yes, you can compost citrus, you can compost onion, but too much is not beneficial for our compost. Why is that? Their natural acidity and oils can prove to be harmful to our beneficial microorganisms. It'll slow decomposition and create an unfavorable pH environment. The essential oils and citrus in the onions and citrus foods, they just make the process slow down. The breaking down of the materials, they make it slower. To compost them safely, use in moderation, cut them into small pieces, and ensure you balance them with carbon-rich material to avoid excessive acidity. You see, compost is just like life. Balance matters. Too much of the wrong stuff and the whole system can just go out of whack. But when you stick to simple ingredients, the soil, it comes alive. Out here on this homestead, we're just trying to get back to the basics. Trusting the land, trusting our soil, and the simple ways that people used to live by. It makes me think of that one verse. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. And that is exactly what we're doing out here on this homestead. We're not overcomplicating it. We're not chasing the world's way and what they want us to do out there. We're just walking the straight path that God laid out for us. We're finding our peace in it. And that's what I hope I can show any of you out there, even just one person, that if you're tired of all the noise, if you're tired of all the crazy chaos going on out there, well then come on over here and start you some gardening. Start you a small compost. Start you that tomato plant or that onion plant or that lemon tree out in your backyard. It's a first step that you can take and get back to the ways of old. Something more simple, something more peaceful. So if this video or my content helps just one person out there, then it's all worth it. Those are the 7 things that you should never throw in your home garden compost. Stick to the basics and you'll always end up with black gold for your garden. So thank you all for tuning into the channel, man. Thank you all for watching another video here on Mundo's Homestead Adventures. I hope this helped y'all out there on how to compost. We got a bunch more old videos on composting back on the channel as well if you want to go check those out. But I hope this helps y'all out there. I hope you learned something new today. I hope that it inspires you. Remember, we're just getting started out here and we're here to build together. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.